Okay, why don't we begin? Welcome all. Thank you for joining. My name is Ben Ginsley. I'm a meditation and mindfulness fellow with Northeastern University Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service. And today marks the last week of guided meditations that we're hosting live on the channel for the year 2020. So for those of us who, or those of you who have stuck around for the entire semester, thanks for your support and thanks for tuning in every week. For those who are watching these as guided recordings after the fact, we also appreciate you stopping by our channel and taking a look at all of our content. And we'll be back in 2021 with more videos, more recordings, and hopefully some live sessions actually back in the sacred space again. Once we can get the clearance to, be back at full operations there. So, with all those logistic things out of the way, today the recording is on a Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday, is our last session of 2020. And of course, we have all of our content still available on the channel for you to view over the winter holiday break. And then we'll get started, in the first or second week of January in 2021 with more live content. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get started? It's a snowy day here in Boston, so maybe we'll have a snow-inspired meditation. So we can get started by finding a comfortable position that will sustain us for the next 25 minutes or so. Eyes can be closed or fixed at a point in front of you, maybe 3 or 4 feet ahead, or perhaps on the wall directly across from you. Some unmoving fixed point to seat your gaze, or simply eyes gently closed. You can lift your shoulders up, roll them back, opening up the chest, allowing the breath to come all the way down to the lungs and into the belly. You can take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, getting settled in a comfortable position. You may be seated upright in a chair, on a cushion, on a mat, or lying down, whatever is most comfortable for you. Hands can be face up in the lap, perhaps fingers interlocked or hands, palms inside one another. Facing up if you want to feel uplifted, facing down if you want to feel grounded. If it's more natural, you can also rest your hands on your knees, especially if you're seated. Or if you're lying down, perhaps having your hands gently cast to your sides. We'll turn our attention back to our breath, finding a single point in the body where the breath sensation feels most clear, perhaps at the tip of the nostrils, in the throat, or in the chest or the belly. Once you've identified a place where the breath feels most clear to you, we can take a mental note of where exactly this is. This will serve as an anchor to return our attention to each time we notice ourselves drifting to thoughts of the past or of the future. We'll begin and end our practice with 3 chimes of the bell. So we'll take some time now to just settle into this position, this posture, this state of mind. Our mind itself may be buzzing with thoughts of the week, thoughts of the weeks ahead. Our senses may be open to the physical sensations of being in the room where you are, feeling temperature, feeling the texture of your clothes and the support beneath you. Any sounds that are in the room with you or in the space around me doing this recording. I can accept these sounds, these feelings, these textures, temperature, exactly as they are. We're perceiving of them in one moment, and then our attention shifts in the next. This is the nature of our attention, naturally to wander from one thing to another. And so at this point, we can accept this as it is. We can try to sit with that feeling, pondering for a moment what it is the mind does when a stimulus comes into its attention or a thought pulls us into a story, whether it's a memory or an anticipation of the future. And as we sit and notice these things, each time you're able to, returning back to that anchor point, that point of present breath awareness, either in the transition between noticing sense stimuli or after you've noticed that you've dwelled on a thought for perhaps a moment too long. Each time you catch yourself drifting, returning back to that point of present breath awareness, the tip of the nostrils, in the chest or in the belly. Sitting with and seeing ourselves exactly as we are in this moment. A dynamic living being that engages with the world around and also with the world within. We call sitting like this a practice because we are practicing getting distracted or wandering or drifting, noticing and returning back to a center point. Each time strengthening our ability to notice and our ability to return to that center. Each time you return to center, focusing more and more on the sensation of breathing itself, feeling the air fill the lungs, the chest expand, the belly expand. Noticing the duality between the dynamic action of breathing and the static pose of the body supported by a bed, a cushion, a chair, the floor beneath you. Our base is still so that we may feel the motion of the breathing. Our attention is still so that we may notice the motion of the mind. As the breath comes and goes, as thoughts or comments come and go, we keep our attention present on each passing moment, noticing stillness, noticing motion. In this act of sitting, our attention is just an observer. Its scope may be like a flashlight, shining and focused on perhaps a particular place in the body or in your sphere of senses around you. Perhaps like a flashlight on the mind if it focuses on a particular thought in one moment or the next. You can imagine as if we can change the cone that comes from this flashlight, adjusting how narrow or broad the focus is, if the light is very concentrated or very diffuse. And so perhaps we can take a few moments now to explore what it means to make our attention more focused or more diffuse. Scanning it through the body, perhaps focusing on someplace like the fingertips. Noticing how narrowly you can focus this attention. And then shifting someplace else like the feet, or the shoulders, or the back. Adjusting this cone, narrow or diffuse. If and as you find yourself needing a break from this exercise, returning back to a broad awareness of the act of breathing as the breath comes in and as the breath goes out. allowing your awareness, your attention to sit exactly in this moment. Relaxing the muscles around your eyebrows, and your cheeks, around your mouth, relaxing your neck and your shoulders, the muscles in your abdomen, around your belly, your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet, your toes. Allowing the scope of your attention to open up as we sit now in open awareness of whatever arises, whatever bubbles up to your conscious attention. As we sit as an observer, just noticing, perhaps taking a small mental note of what comes up, and then allowing it to pass, keeping our awareness present, letting go of the stories or the explanations around thoughts or senses. In each moment, open to whatever arises. Returning to your anchor point of present breath awareness, if and as needed. allowing the sphere of your attention, your awareness, to radiate outwards from your solar plexus to the edge of your skin, then radiating beyond your body to expand into the room around you. Perceiving the volume of the space, perhaps objects in it. So your awareness continues to expand out into the world, to the rest of the building you may be in, expanding out into your neighborhood, and then into the town or city around you. And then perhaps the region, eventually expanding all the way out to encompass the whole world that we inhabit. Open to things being exactly as they are, just noticing as an observer in this present moment. Allowing your attention, your awareness to return back to that anchor, that point of present breath awareness in the nose and the chest or the belly. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. As you're ready and on your own time, you can take 5 or 6 more deep breaths. And then after 3 chimes, we will conclude this sit. If you would like to continue your practice, you may. But if it is time for you to return movement back into your body, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently open your eyes. Stretch out your shoulders, your neck. I would like to thank you for sharing with me in this practice today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and week and rest of your year.